Hello, everyone. Let's see. I'm going to switch this from black and white real quick. Let me know if you can hear me. Audio, video, good? Can y'all hear me? Hello? Let's see. It's in monochrome. It should be good to go now. All right. All right. Thank you. I'll go back. Welcome in Mike, Kopi, Jeff Kane, JP Jeffries, Craig's, Sin, Skipper, Cosman. Welcome in. All right, so I have added new plants to the 75-gallon. Hello, welcome in, Zini. I added some contortionist val and some crypts and some anubias, and things are starting to look up. I am I'm redoing the 20 long with my Madaka culls in it, and it's all of these plants are from um, the 20 long. Welcome in, Shirley. So I do have some more vowels that I'm looking to get rid of. Most of my vowels are about 20 inches. Um, the longest vowels in this tank right now are just about 30 inches. Welcome in, Jess. But yeah, I will be redoing the 20 long almost completely. It's completely overran by Malaysian trumpet snails, and in general, the amount of plants that I had in the 20 long were bending the spines of the Madaka in there. So I've pretty much cleared them out. I think I'm just going to pop them into a pond um, now that I have more ponds. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm not sure if you can see the crypts that I have on the left side. These are the Crypt Wintii Tropicas, and then I have some swords, an Anubius, the Val. Uh, you can't really see the Kabomba in front of the the Vals, and then the other Anubius, and some more swords. Welcome in, Beto. I plan to get some more plants for the back corners. Um, Something pretty tall. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll figure it out. And then get some. Um, let's see, maybe some wood. I'm not sure if I actually want wood in this tank, or if I just want to do a um, mainly vegetation plant tank. I'm going to. Wow, Fish Fam Link is here. I'm so excited. I know. So this coming Saturday, I'll be getting. Hopefully, if they don't run out at my local fish store, I'll be getting 20 rummy nose tetras for this tank, and then I'm going to be looking for some more angelfish. I want to get another longfin. Um, so this longfin can have a buddy. Yeah, this is pool filter sand. Um, I don't remember which brand it was, but it was really nice. Like nasty. I'm sorry, it was not nice. It was really nasty. Um, I had to rinse it out like 15, 20 times. And then I still, um, like now have problems with it. It's gross. Whatever brand I used, uh, it was available at Home Depot. Whatever brand it was, I'm never using again. I think it was Quickcrete. Absolutely disgustingly dirty and dusty. I don't think I'll ever use that again. If any of y'all um what was I saying? Okay. Um I'm looking for a bottom dweller for this tank. I don't do catfish. Um so it's really hard. I'm not sure if y'all know but there is one thing that you should know about me, and that it is that I'm terrified of catfish. It doesn't matter if it is a teeny tiny like pygmy cory or if it is like a big channel catfish. I'm terrified of all of them. So I want a bottom dweller that is not a catfish because I like putting my hands into my tanks. Um, and I just wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to properly maintain a tank with catfish in it. They freak me out. I can't do that. Welcome in. Any fish will do. I If anybody wants to join and come up and talk, click that link and you'll get behind the scenes and we can talk. Get a red tail catfish. Thanks, Sin. I'll be right on that. Absolutely not. Loaches. I have some coolie loaches. So most of the loaches that I would want get too big for the tank. So like I would want clown loaches or what's the name of that other big loach? Hold on, let me see. I don't know. It's the other big one. Let's see. Oh, dojo loaches. Let's see. Autocinklus are catfish. Can't do a South American biotope without quarries. Yes, I can. What tank is it for? This one that we're watching? Yes. This is my, I think somebody asked what size tank this is. This is a 75 gallon. Oh, look, they're arguing. Oh, the angelfish are arguing. I just put new plants in, so they're trying to figure out territories. Um, they are literally arguing. I wonder if they'll lock lips. Welcome in. Why are we always yelling? I'm sure pygmy quarries are adorable, but they're adorable in somebody else's tank, not mine. I have 8 types of quarries and 3 types of loaches. My local fish store does a lot with um, Oh my goodness. That scared me. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Get catfish. They say. I don't want to deal with any of that. Oh my goodness. This is. I don't know if you're able to see it. There we go. Okay, that should be good. All right, this is my local fish store. They currently have Leopoldis on sale. But they have an extensive they have a catfish collection. Banjo catfish, cowboy whiptails, flagtails, autocinclus, peppermint autocinclus, petricolus enodontus, spotted raphael, stone, striped raphael, Sumatran glass, twig whiptail, and then they have their own section for Cordius, C005, CW010, CW106, CW028, Elegant Corridorus, Emerald something something, uh, Julii, and these tail spot pygmy Corius. Let's see. Okay, so the freezing on is on YouTube's end. Hold on, where is that? Unfortunately, the freezing is on YouTube's end. There is nothing that I can do about that. If it doesn't, if it doesn't work, just keep refreshing. Um, and um, it should start to work. Let's see. Are you looking for a particular type of angelfish? No, not really. I'm looking for more. I would like something in between a silver and my black lace, but really anything at this point because neither of them have color. One's silver and one's black. Well, the two little groups. I have 4 right now, and I'd like to get up to 6. But really anything. Since none of these have color, nothing can clash with them. So. Oh my God, where is this store? It is near Houston, Texas, and they do ship. If you're in America, um, you can go over to shopha.com. That's shophaw.com. On October 4th, they are at 4th and 5th. They are having their yearly anniversary sale where all tetras are going to be 50% off and all other livestock are going to be 30% off, and that includes saltwater fishes. And things like their electric blue crawfish and vanilla crawfish and dwarf orange crawfish and feeders. It also includes their discus and some of their cool oddballs like their Bisher, their Amazon puffers, their marbled head standards, Indian glassfish. They do have rainbow shiners in stock. When I last went into their store, these rainbow shiners look amazing. Um, they do have ropefish. This is a pretty decent price for roast ropefish already. On the 4th of October, you can get that for 30% off. They also have these Sumatran dwarf red eye puffers. Also, they do free shipping on orders over $300. So, if you're interested, again, I'm not sponsored. This is just my local fish store, and it helps them, stay in business. I have had little to no um, issues with any of their fishes dying on me. And when I did have an issue, their customer service was amazing. So they also have some interesting rainbows. They do have some guppies, and they should be doing another restock this Thursday, right before. Um, Again, they have their Leopoldis on sale for $10 each. They typically have pretty good prices on their freshwater stuff. And if you're a pleco fan, they do have some cool plecos. They have this L018, L104, L128, L129, L144A, L200, L473. And from what I understand, these are reasonable. I don't know anything because, besides basics with catfish, because I don't know. They have some Seminole fish, some daisies. Oh, welcome in.
Hi. How you doing, Cece?
I'm all right.
Yeah, I just barely subscribed to your channel today.
Well, welcome in. Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah, no problem. I think it was on Jeff Kane's channel.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's I kind of think of him as the bridge, you know?
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Yeah. So yeah, just this is one of my last aquariums that I have down here in my basement. Um, this is one of two that I have left down here that I'm gonna eventually move. So this is probably the last week I'll have them down here.
Yeah. What's in here?
These are. Let's see if I can move it a little closer. Does that look a little better?
Yeah. I was trying to make it go a little bit more full screen. It just was not budging. Let's see. Well, let me switch. No. There we go. This is the best I can get it, I think.
Nice. So yeah, these are Zugeneticus tequilas.
Okay.
You know what those are?
No.
These are the Goodyears.
Oh, so they're a goodie.
Yeah. These are actually, I just got them barely registered with CARES.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just it was like a little registration to get them, approved. And yeah, I'm not sure what, you know, the purpose, the main, I guess the focus is conservation, right? But
Yeah, it's a preservation. So that's basically conservation in our homes, especially when you can't re-release something. It's better to have a lot of it in people's homes, so they can be eventually taken and brought back into the wild.
For sure. I mean, my setup is not, that I only have like 6 aquariums,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have that much. They're all pretty small. I think my biggest tank is a 55, which I'm gonna eventually break down. So I think my biggest tanks will be two 33 longs, and then just like maybe three or four 20 longs.
Yeah, I mean those are good tank sizes. We definitely love to hear the long. Not a lot of fish like vertical height.
Yeah. So these guys, I've had them for about, let's say, about 7 months. And in those 7 months, I started off with five, and now I have about 30.
Yeah,
30
it looks like
years.
they're doing well.
Yeah, there's about 30 or so in here. And the males are barely starting to show off the coloration in their tails. Uh,
Yeah.
So the males have that orange in their tails, and the oldest fry are barely starting to display that color. Um, I'm a little worried about the transition to the third floor. So I'm gonna do it in stages. I'm probably just gonna take a few of these guys up there. The tank has been only set up for maybe like 2 weeks.
Mm.
So I've had it running with filters and some shrimp and snails, and it seems like the snails are already kind of stabilized. Like the first ones did die, but it seems like they're doing okay now. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping to move these guys up there with hopefully minimal losses.
Yeah, definitely. I have found with other similar types of fish that getting not fry, but juveniles and moving those first typically works better off
Yeah,
because they're more adaptable because they're younger.
that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully, I because I moved. So I'm in the basement now, but I moved to the third floor of the same building. So I'm just pretty much just moving everything up there. But it's like so hard to get these things up there. And I had one tank that had like a dirted substrate, so I couldn't remove it, the the sand cap and all that. So I just drained it down to the sand level, and man, it was brutal getting it up the stairs. I mean, it was so heavy. Uh, I almost dropped that thing a couple times.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. I'm actually in the process of moving around a bunch of my tanks, and I don't have to worry about going up or downstairs because my house is all on one level, and it's still pretty difficult, especially with sand in the tanks.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff's heavy. And
Yeah,
I took anything, like any kind of decoration that was in there, like a big rock. I took all that stuff. It was just plain sand in the dirt, and I mean, this thing must have weighed like 80, 90 pounds. And my sister kind of tried to help me, but I was just like, you know what? I don't want you to get hurt. Just kind of like guide me, and just, open doors and stuff for me. Uh,
yeah,
and luckily I was able to manage that thing, but I felt myself losing grip a couple times.
yeah. It's definitely a big process. I could not. I mean, I brought my 75-gallon empty in by myself, um, and that was treacherous. I highly recommend never doing that ever. Um, I couldn't imagine if I had to deal with stairs. Somebody asked if the Goodeids that you have a location.
Yeah, so when you register them with cares, that's like the first one of the more important things they ask is, like, the location and where you get them and stuff. So the location on these is it's difficult for me to pronounce the name. I think it's Rio Te Techitlan. It's Teuchilan.
Let's see if I can't find.
And that's in Jalisco, Mexico. And I think they were considered to be extinct there, but there was a reintroduction. I can't remember exactly when that happened, but it was within like maybe the last decade, sometime somewhere around
Mhm.
there. I'm not sure. Whether it was successful or not, I think I've heard different stories. Some people say that it made a difference. Some people say they're not sure. So I mean, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But these are considered critically endangered.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so these are from that
I've uh,
Rio
I've
to the
I've
Rio to
on
Tucson.
pulled it up on the screen so people can read where they're from. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm not going to try.
It's a difficult one, even for me, and I speak Spanish.
Yeah, that's advanced.
Yeah, my father's hometown isn't too far from here, and I asked him about that river or lake or whatever. And yeah, he said that when he went over there, it was pretty bad shape. Um, so I can see why they're critically endangered.
Yeah. Somebody said the lake around Mexico City. If that's true, I know a lot of things in Mexico City. Their water has had a lot of issues and has been filled in um, for various reasons.
Hmm.
I A couple years back, I went on one of those tours that you do when you go down there and they talk about like axolotls.
Hmm.
Show you all the places that axolotls have been seen, and like one of the water um, lakes or that we went to go see was basically just a parking lot.
Wow. Yeah, it's bad. I think a lot of construction is what's taking over these natural habitats.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm not an expert. I just from what I hear.
right. Uh, it's a
I
river.
should.
So Mike said it's a river that drains from it. I'm googling it right now because I don't
Yeah.
know. It says that it's a river in Mexico,
Yeah.
and that's they lived in a
I think it's
area.
connected to a bigger system called the River Ameca.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this website called biotope-aquarium.info.
Yeah.
Um, Ameca splendens is what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think that they're from the same river too.
They lived in the Rio.
Techitlan or
Yeah,
however.
in Jalisco,
Yeah.
Western Mexico,
So that one you pronounce it with an H. It's Jalisco.
Jalisco.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So my father, like I said, he's from like in close proximity, and he had like some rivers flowing through some property that we had down there. And I remember when I was a child, the water would flow pretty quickly, and there was waterfalls and all kinds of stuff. And the last time I was there, maybe a decade ago, and the rivers are just dry. There's, it's not even you know half as much as it was when I was younger. So whether it's because of dams or drought, I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely there's no water flow.
Oh no. Um, would that be like natural dams or man-made?
Most likely man-made, to reroute for like, some kind of business of some sort.
Yeah, I'm not sure too much about Mexico, but here it's typically like logging or paper or other factories that things got rerouted
Hmm.
for. So I'm going to assume that it's probably something similar then.
Most likely. And maybe even runoff is a part of the reason the populations might be down. Who knows?
Yeah, it might be. I know that when I lived up in New Hampshire, there was paper mills, and
Hmm.
the older people there would tell me that when the paper mills were still in production, the runoff from the paper factories, you could tell what color paper they were making that day because the paper, like the river, would be red or blue or green or purple.
It's wild that they could just do that, right?
Yeah, it is. We've definitely came a lot for.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that things are getting better.
It does seem that way, even here, because I'm from Chicago, and the Chicago River um used to be, oh my god, so bad. It was horrible. And it's not great by any means now, but it's definitely done a pretty good change, like in a positive way. Like there's less trash. The water's a little clearer and it doesn't smell as bad, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's definitely a boost not only for the animals but for the people that live around it. Nobody wants to live near a river that stinks.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's Yeah, there's a lot of waterways around here in Chicago. There's the Splains River. There's a bunch, but I think the Chicago River was the the worst one. I think, at least from what I can. I don't really go visit them all, but from what I saw, like it was the least taken care of.
Yeah,
Especially since there's a lot of businesses along the river itself. There's like boating businesses that they make boats or whatnot or stuff like that. So right along the river.
right. Yeah.
Which, yeah, so I just now that I've got the I've just registered them onto a website. I can't recall the name of the website, but it's, I guess, to just kind of put them out there and just say, I have these fish. I didn't put that I have them like ready, because they say like, do you have available, right, to trade or sell or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't put that yet. I just kind of just display, just put it out there that I have them. Um, I would try to post the website on here, but I don't even know how to do that. I won't even try it.
um,
I mean, not from this restream thing. Like I don't know how to do it from here.
so on the side or on the bottom, depending on what the layout is, you should be able to see this thing, and it's at the bottom. It says chat. You should be able to click on that and type.
Um, Oh, okay, okay, I see it. Okay. So, okay, here goes. All right, there it goes. It's called aquariumspecies.net.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Posted
think
in.
I'm ready to put any up for sale or anything yet.
Yeah. I think that you're going in the right direction, though. Especially with how well they're breeding for you.
Yeah, definitely. There, I don't really do a whole lot. I don't doctor the water or anything like that. I just what I do make sure to do is not overfeed. Um, that's one of the big ones, and then just make sure to do their water changes pretty consistently. So I do water changes. I want to say like once every 3 days, and I don't do a whole lot, but I'll do like 15-20%. A small amount.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Keeping water clean for any fish is really important, especially if you're trying to breed.
these guys breed like it's hard to get them to stop. I sometimes want to remove the males
Yeah. Uh,
because
some
uh-huh.
some people would say that's a good problem to have.
I mean, if you have the space, and yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Um, but somebody, I guess the person that sold these to me, he told me that the males can't retain the sperm. So as soon as even as soon as the female drops her fry, he'll try to he'll try to get with her again. So yeah, I think the best thing to do would be to remove them. You can see this is the male here,
Yeah, he has that orange.
orange bull tail, and here's a female up here. But yeah, as soon as the females, I do try to pull them out, but they get gravid so. It's the thing is that the time it takes for them to actually drop their fry is a good amount of time. I never really timed it, but it's a good amount of time, and I always tell myself, all right, I'm gonna pull her out when she's about to pop, and I sometimes don't get it on. I don't pull them out in time, and they just drop in there. And I have heard that these ones are fry eaters, but you can see how many fry are in here. Um,
Yeah.
I don't see them bothering them at all.
No. I can see the little babies, especially around that one more stringy looking plant.
Yeah, I think that's Ludwigia. I want to say.
Woodwookie. Yeah.
I
I,
think so. No, I'm not sure. I can't remember. The one on the right is a sword plant,
mhm.
but the one on the left, I think no, even not Ludwigia. Uh,
It kind of looks like a pearl weed, almost.
the thing is that it looks different in some, like on this side, it looks different than it does on top. So this is all the same plant, but it looks different from where it comes out of the pot to where it's all sitting on the top here. The leaves are broader up top.
I see that. That's interesting. I'm not the best with plant names.
I try to remember them and then I forget them.
I had a whole notebook of all the different plants that I had, and then I was like, okay, but which one's which? It did not help.
I should have done what I planned to do from the beginning was to write everything on the tank, but I didn't
Yeah.
do it because it looks tacky and you just don't want to see that.
Yeah. I,
So
uh, I had painted in good faith my 29 gallon. I had painted one side with chalkboard paint and got some chalk, right?
yeah.
Totally like, I'm going to like write down everything on this tank. Yeah, never did it. Let's see. JP Jeffries said, I just ordered some split fin Goodyear. They have
Uh-huh.
an interesting em- umbilical cord birth process.
Yes, I never got to see that. So these fish actually have birth unlike any other that from what I understand, and it's a live birth where they all come connected on the umbilical cord. And even though I've had four of these females have babies, I never got to witness it live. So I have not seen it, but yeah, so it's a pretty unique way uh, of having them.
It sounds like it. I don't know if many other live bearers do that. I know there's some interesting live bearers out there, like the four-eyed live bearer that has eyes, that has two pupils,
Uh-huh.
one that looks above the water and one that looks below the water.
Oh wow.
Um, so there, especially in live bearers specifically, there is a ton of interesting adaptations.
They are, yeah, they are pretty unique. I didn't know until recently that stingrays are live bears.
Are they really? I would never have guessed that.
Me neither. I had no idea. But yeah, these fish are pretty cool. They're unlike they're pretty they can be a little bit nippy. I mean, not too bad, but they do have a personality. Um, so I have another tank next to them, and these are the swordtails here. Hold on. So I emptied this tank out recently, and I sold all the fish. So these are the guys that are left in here.
Hmm.
And these guys are live bears, right? But these guys, even though they are pretty cool, the Goodeids have a more of a interesting personality, I guess you could say.
Yeah, these ones are definitely beautiful fish. Uh, but I think that the appeal of things like Goodeids is that not everybody has them.
Yeah. So at one point, just a couple of days ago, there was about 100 fish in here. I sold a species of live bear called Alpharus coltratus. I sold them to an LFS because of the move upstairs, right? And since I was gonna downgrade the tank size, I didn't want to have so many fish, and ended up selling exactly 75. So I had 76. So I I kept one, and I don't see her. Um, where is she? She's a pretty big fish. Well, 2 inches. I can't see her. But yeah, so catching all 75 of them it was it was pretty defeating for me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I hope not to have to do that again. Especially it was in this tank and I didn't prepare. I didn't take any of these pots out. So I just kind of suffered through that. I should have taken the extra time to remove all this stuff to do that. Um, but I didn't, and it was a pretty tough job. And
Yeah.
these guys are all fry that that were born in this tank. So I think it's one male. You can see him over here somewhere.
Hmm.
And then these are all females, these other big ones. And then all these are their fry. These little guys. Um,
They're also bright.
they are. That's what I liked about them the most is how deep red their color is. They came from China. They were labeled as firecracker swordtails, but when I looked up online to get information on them, nothing really matched. Like the shape and the look of the fish didn't match the the firecracker swordtails that were online. So I can't really say for sure what species this is, but you can see that some of them are losing their because they have some of them have that red eye. and some of them are starting to lose it. So I
Mm,
guess I guess this would be a species that quote unquote doesn't breed true, I guess you could say.
yeah. Uh,
Um
so they're albino.
oh yeah, red albino.
Interesting.
And so from all these fry, I think only two kept the red eyes. I think this is one here. It's hard to see, but some of them are starting to lose it, like not completely, but you can see a bit of the white in their eyes in some of them. Uh, but yeah, so these are pretty cool. Don't know if I'm gonna end up keeping them because, like I said, I'm trying to kind of change up everything once I move upstairs. But I have not found a new home for these, so for now, I will hold on to them. Uh, because I do have plans for a couple other species that I'm interested in, and I just kind of want to start from scratch, kind of in a way.
Yeah. I think that if you're interested in getting rid of them, I think that it's Skipper that's having an auction soon. I'm sure you could auction them off there.
Yes. I was thinking about it, but since I am in Chicago, um, there are, there are LFSs everywhere, right? So my problem isn't, the auction, it's the cost of shipping, I think would be the biggest factor that would kind of just push me away from that, because obviously you have to take into consideration like my lack of experience, right? So I'm not that experienced in shipping. And I mean, I know a little bit about the process and how the water has to be, minimal in the bag. There's to be more air and all that stuff, but I've never actually done it. So, you know, I
I
don't want
definitely
to.
think that I should do a video explaining my process and how I ship things. I know a bunch of people also have them. Before you start shipping, I've always liked to ship to myself.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like when I have like an extra bit of money, like maybe I worked a couple extra hours or something, I will take that and I'll test my shipping method
Mm-hmm.
and see how it fares. And I will literally bring it to the post office and I will sign it up to be shipped right back to my house.
Wow. And
And
that's just
typically,
kind of to get an idea how long it takes, or if it went
uh,
good.
yeah, to see how long the shipping is, if there were any issues, the temperature of the water specifically,
Oh, wow.
um, if the fish survived. If they can't survive a trip from the post office to my house, then definitely I'm doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm. And who'd you end up going with? Like the directly with with the post or the place? Because I know have you ever heard of a pirate ship?
Yes, I like pirate ship, and I prefer for live animals to use FedEx. It is more expensive, but the animals are kept in better conditions, typically in climate controlled conditions compared to other shippers.
Okay. For some reason, I assumed that FedEx, right, didn't ship fish.
So, like with all carriers, their guaranteed shipping or their insurances um, don't typically cover live fish, or it's really hard to get insurance for live fishes or live animals in general. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, you would have to look into that for your specific state and what their insurance they go through is. That's the only issue with shipping any animal.
Hmm. Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So that's, yeah. I guess
Um,
that's the biggest put off, for me.
right. There are some third parties, but in general, if you're just shipping fish as a hobbyist and not as a business, then it is not as big of a deal for most people.
Right.
It's not. It would be more if you were sending thousands of dollars worth of fish.
Right. Yeah. More of a fish that has more higher value.
Yes, definitely. Like I wouldn't be trading off like the bad insurance if I was selling like arowanas or um, like discus. You know,
Yes.
Mike said, are they like guppies where certain traits are more associated with the sex of the fish? I'm assuming he's talking about goodeids, but I'm not 100% sure.
So what I've noticed about the Goodyears that they're a little bit like, um, to be honest, I wouldn't say a guppy per se, because I've had guppies are a type of postciliad, right? Is that what they are? I'm not an expert, but it, if that's what it is, then I would say no.
Mm.
They're kind of unique. I can't even really say they're like anything like a Molly or a Platy or anything like that. Um,
So they're more distant
yeah,
from other live bearers.
yes, their shape is very unique. There's some goodies with a more exaggerated tail to body difference in size, so they'll have like a really slim tail to where a really girthy, body.
Mhm.
These ones don't have that in such an exaggerating size difference, but there are some that, and I think that's the look, like
Yeah.
that's what distinguishes these fish. Kind of like how rainbow fish have that same kind of thing, where they have a really pointy snout and then a really big body.
Yeah.
Something, and these are the characteristics that distinguish goodeids from other live bearers. That shape, at least to me, like I said, I'm not an expert by any means. I've only been doing this 2 years, so I know very little. I think I'm just speaking just to say stuff, but
Yeah. No, it's great to hear, other people's perspectives. It doesn't, it's always great to, know that you might not know everything and to disclose that, but you're always welcome to, share what you do know.
hmm but yeah, so these I've had fun with these, and I do not want to get rid of them. The thing is with the well, okay, so with these, the temperature has to be low, according to people that are experts. So the
Yeah.
temperature has to be, I think, it's recommended to be under 75 and under. I think.
Okay,
Um.
yeah. Um,
So. hmm
I heard that if goodeids get too warm, they become infertile.
I've heard the same. Yes. Whether that's true or not, I mean,
Mm,
I have not. I can't say for certain because I have kept the fish at temperature, right? Because I'm in a basement, so it's pretty easy, and there's central air down here. So in the
yeah.
summertime, there's air conditioning, and then with the being a basement, it's very easy to maintain temperature. But once I go upstairs, so we're hitting the winter time, so it's not going to be hard to keep temperature again up there. But once the next summer comes, I'm really going to have to take a look at how I can keep the water cool. Uh, People have suggested a fan, and it does work. The fan does work, but
Mhm.
there's one big but for me with that, because the fan causes so much evaporation. I mean,
It,
it's pretty significant.
Right. It definitely is. I've noticed that. I'm in Texas, so my tank water is all hot. Almost every single one of my tanks maintains at least 80 in the summer.
Wow.
And I've tried just about everything. Fans, nothing gets it below 80.
So, Cece, do you have any canister filters?
I do have a canister filter. My only canister filter is on my 75-gallon.
Because I had an idea, and it might not work for all the canister filters because some of them are pretty large. But I have those little slim ones. Have you heard of like the 407 series
Yes.
From Fluval? They're like little small ones. Now, and I haven't put this to the test yet, but my idea was to put one into a bucket and put ice water. Fill up. Maybe like 8 inches of ice water and put the canister in there. And like I said, I haven't put this to the test, but that was my, like, if all else fails and the water gets too hot, that was gonna be my my attempt to try to maintain the temperature and just have a heater in the tank to where in case it drops too low, right?
Right.
It will keep it stable.
Interesting. It does definitely sound less expensive than a chiller.
Yes.
I know that like even the smallest chillers are like $200.
Oh wow.
And that's what's prevented me from keeping cold water species.
I haven't even looked into that, to be honest.
Yeah. I know that put it in a mini fridge, Jeff said. I know that I keep my killifish in a large cooler and I
Uh-huh.
have racks, and on the bottom I put ice, and the fish are in little shoe boxes on the racks, and that keeps them at about 68
Oh.
when all my other tanks are 80.
Hmm. Well, that seems like it's working.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is no light,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you don't see them. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
easy to forget to feed them.
Oh.
So there definitely are setbacks. June overtly overstocked otters,
Oscars.
Oscars. I would add ice bottles to cool a tank.
Okay, so I tried that, right? I did try that once when it got really hot during the summer and we lost the air conditioner for a week. And I just wanted to test it. I was like, it's a small amount of time, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I wanted to test it. And I used a 48-ounce bottle in a 20 gallon, and this thing
Mhm.
was solid ice. And I stuck it in there, and it worked. Right, it brought the temperature down, but within like a small amount of time, and this was like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, it was completely melted.
Mm,
So you know what I'm saying? Like it got to temperature, but then like you would have to be home to constantly keep dropping bottles in there.
yeah,
Uh, so that was the only issue that I saw with that.
yeah, definitely. I know that, like for example, since my tanks are so hot during heat waves, especially, so my tanks have gotten up to 90 degrees, and I was trying to cool them down. And like normally, like I can put like a chunk of frozen food into my tank, and it like melts in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
So when I'm putting bottles of water in my tank, they just completely melt, especially when like there's a heat wave and it's like 120 outside. There's no way.
Yeah. Oh, and I had a DIY idea, but this is pretty complex. So, and I would have to find parts to get it to work. So my idea was to put a submersible pump in the tank, right? and have it lead out into a thermos container of about 1 gallon size, right? So it would lead into there into maybe a glass contain so a glass container that goes into the thermos. So the water would not be in contact with the water in the thermos. It would run through the glass bottle. The glass being that it conducts the temperature better, right?
Mhm.
So you would then put ice water in the the thermos, and then the water running through it. So it would be like a heat exchange, right? The water would be going through the container that's inside the thermos, and the thermos is important because it would hold the cold, you know, temperature for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting parts to fit and work, that would be the hardest. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. You just have to actually do research and you know, fit parts and make sure that everything works properly.
Overtly overstocked Oscars said you tried a fan.
he, he missed the part when we talked about evaporation.
Yeah, it's I fans don't work at all. They just kind of move the water around. I mean, um, back to what you were saying. It sounds a lot like what people do. They get styrofoam boxes for computers.
Uh-huh.
They put the and they put like a long hose from their liquid cooling system into the
The
styrofoam
uh
cooler,
mhm.
and they fill it with ice. So it helps cool the computer down more during heat waves or like extremely intense gaming sessions.
Wow. Yeah, so that's kind of what that is. I mean, I got the idea from where I work. So where I work, they deal with oil,
Mhm.
and they use these big old machines called heat exchangers. And it's kind of the same concept that I explained, only it goes through a metal plate. So you got the oil. Okay, so the metal plate has two um okay, so the plates are sandwiched. There's a bunch of plates, metal plates sandwiched together, and in between there's spaces where, you know, one plate is holding water and the other plate is holding the oil. So since you got the water plate in contact with the other plate that has oil, the heat dissipates, right? Because they're next to each other. Um, and that's actually where I got the idea.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been kind of. I mean, I got a lot of time for the next summer to come, but I should definitely be running some kind of experiments by now. Just be
Oh my goodness. All right. I'm going to hop off here.
for sure,
It was really great talking to you. I posted the link to the Discord. If you have Discord, you could join and chat to a
okay,
bunch of people.
for sure. Yeah,
Um, all right.
I'm trying to get back to the chat, but yeah, thank you so much for having me, and it was
Yeah.
fun, likewise, and
Um,
hopefully to see you on the next one.
all right. See you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Let's see. All right, everyone. I've posted the link so you can see it in the stream. I will be, I know that we had a very interesting stream schedule for this week. I will be going back to my normal stream schedule this week. I will be live again on Wednesday. Um, and I think that's it. Thanks everybody so much for joining. Uh, thanks Bito for joining and having a lovely chat about his good yids. Uh, I'll see you next time. Bye.